afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. We're opinionated at this man always raised George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's the first of the month. Grab your check and come on. I ain't got mine yet. I don't get mine tomorrow. So, folks, as you know, it's September and it's starting to get a little cooler. You know, you can feel it a little bit. Still a little bit hot out there, but it's kind of relaxed a little bit because in a couple more weeks, it will be fall. And today is Labor Day. For those who labor, I have not worked a full-time job in almost 10 years, folks. But a real job was taking care of my mom. That's a job that you love. So especially, she was my woman. So anyway, folks, today we're going to have a discussion. This is MuscleTalk 254. Wow, I'm just a little bit away from 300. I keep going there. And we also, before I do this, I'm going to give a shout out to some ladies who just competed over the weekend. We had both the North Americans, a couple ladies who I interviewed, got their, one lady particularly got a pro card, that is Cheo. I interviewed her just the week after I came back from Tampa. She won at the Tampa Extravaganza, and 3 weeks later, now she got a pro card. It's a long trip for her. So shout out to her. And we possibly might have her back on, for an interview and talk about her experience. Also, another young lady who I had the pleasure of interviewing, Jenica Kirkloder. She is the first Norwegian female women's bodybuilder, to be exact. Because there's other divisions that come out of Norway, but she's the first women's bodybuilder. They both made their pro debut at the shows, respectively. Chio at the World Master Championships, and Jenica at the Alita Propa Classic. They did pretty well. Jenica was in the top 5. And Chio was in the top 10 in women's 40 plus. I also shout out to some ladies who competed at the show who won the qualification for the Masters Olympia in 2027. That is Veronica Dominguez in women's bodybuilding 40 plus, and also a lady who had the pleasure on my channel, Sandra Amaru, for women's bodybuilding 40, women's physique 40 plus. And also shout out to a lady who's been a guest on my channel, Miss Erin Hawkins, who won women's 50 plus, but does not get a qualification for the Master O, but she took second and women's 40. So maybe the right show, she might get a qualification. So, folks, it was a busy weekend, a busy month for me completely, with interviews and going to Tampa and meet these people here that are in this live here. We'll talk about, as you know, this month, there's at least 3 shows that are qualifications for the Olympia in both physique and women's bodybuilding. All the other divisions, I know today there's supposed to be a show coming up this weekend. It's the Florida Pro. It doesn't have any of the other divisions that we pay attention to other than figure. But we're going to discuss about possibly who's going to make who can make the deadline in time. So, folks, we have my guests here. So we go ladies first. We have here the lovely, and this is the first time on the Monday. No, this is the first time on Monday. She's been on my Monday last time. We have the lovely Mrs. Eunice Martinez Kitchens, and she represents Bad Rap. As you know, the code is big and defined, ripped and pump. I like that.
Hey, George.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, good to be here on a Monday. I don't usually, it's Labor Day, so that's why I'm off.
Yeah, I think you were here last Monday. A couple months ago, we talked about the experience in Tampa. I think that was last time you were here Monday. But that's been like about 2 weeks. Yeah. You meet JoJo and this young man here with us, and that is Alex. Alex is back. I get this boy here getting ready.
Hey, Alex.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Eunice.
Good to see you, Alex. Always good to talk to you.
Yeah. Thanks. As you know, we got our Bad Rip gear on. I got my hat. Alex got his hat, and Eunice got a shirt, And folks, we're going to discuss, as you know, what's going on. We have a few shows coming up, which are the last qualifications for the Olympia. As you know, over the weekend, Asim Barito won the overall Atlanta Classic. And just saw that she's going to be doing the Dennis James Europa Championships in Germany. I have an opinion on that, how I feel about this. You already got your spot. And then you won this show. And we most definitely need the bodies because at one point it was only 7 women, but now it's 8. But I like Arsenio. She's a President Physique, and she's working with men. And we interviewed her coach, Robert Phil. We were talking. He thinks he's wanting to get more into the women's bodybuilding part of the sport. He's been doing wellness in other divisions for quite some time, but he was working with originally 1.T on a flex. Now she switched coaches and went to another coach. She's working with Dom, that is her new coach. And I feel like this. This is my personal opinion. I think she should skip the show and focus on Olympia because it was that last year she went to next to bottom. Now, I don't know because she was working with Iris Kyle last year, and maybe that would have been it, or just whatever what it was, But I would say if she wins the show, the numbers is going to be kind of low for women's bodybuilding. Everybody's thoughts? Everybody's thoughts?
Well, you know how I feel about that. It's not the competitor's fault. If you want to change and you want to change the number of people at the Olympia, then do what they're doing at the RP. They're actually allowing the top 3 to be qualified. So either expand that number, or you either develop the bump system.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go after the competitor, because we are competitors and we like to compete. And she's already probably in that area where it's not that far for her to get to that show. So, that's what competing is about. It's not about, she wants to compete. That's a competitor. In the old school days, there wasn't a limit to how many times we could get on stage. Everybody just got on stage because they loved it. So it's time to do something different, and don't leave it up to the competitor. That's how I feel.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. But still, like I said again, with the numbers so low for women's bodybuilding, so few shows, you want to be competitive, but then here's some bodybuilders, they know you be a bodybuilder yourself. Sometimes they let something like that get in their head. They talk, sometimes really we compete, it's you versus you. But then someone like Arsenio comes in, and Arsenio come in, and she's already won 2 shows back to back. And she's in her best condition since, my guess, or like the last couple of years. That could be kind of disconcerting, because I know I talk to ladies, like, good example of somebody we talk about quite often is 2 people who are often always in shows and they're already qualified for the Olympia. Don't even have to do a show. Is Jessica Padilla and Natalia Abraham Cuejo. Now, one has been a Miss Olympia Physique champion, and one's been the number 2 for the past 2 or 3 years. Well, I'm saying you want to be active, yeah, but it kind of, discourage some competitors. And I know, this is being competitive, it's being about competition, but at the same time, when you already got a hook, some people will say, like, what's the word for me competing if somebody come in here and they already, going to win the whole kit and caboodle?
Alex, what do you have to say about that?
Just saying, I was thinking about, it's kind of risky, doing a show after you just won a show. I was just really thinking she could just stick, I'm trying to say, just stick to the show that, she's already been qualified for. When, that would, don't want to risk all the expenses, all the travel time, all that, just for another contest in between, small time frame. I don't know. I'm trying to
all right.
process what you guys just said.
Like I said, take your time. It's something, like I say, a lot of people, like me, me and you has been in this game for quite a long time. We are still learning some things, the aspects of this sport. She loves a little more than I do, and I'm more, I often like this. I play devil's advocate because I see both sides, but then most time I would probably speak more for the side that feels like they're more discouraged, or you feel like there's less opportunity for them. We have here some comments here. Shout out to our guest who was here. Shout out to our man Josh Simpkins coming through. He says, "What's good, George?" And nothing good, brother. I appreciate that. Coming through. Also, he says, "This says shout out to all the winners at the Alina Popa Classic." Yes, shout out to all the ladies. Also, he says this. This is from a man DJ. He says, Alcion Burrito nailed it and kicked ass at the Alina Classic. She did. She looked really good.
She really did, yeah.
Yeah, also shout out to here. This is from DJ. Says, I like Nana Capisoto, but Alcion had the competition won. Yeah, got it. It's like a short thing. Also, DJ says, as you know, my girl is back in the gym preparing for the Christina show for her show. Christina Mendoza. She most likely going to do the Rising Phoenix.
Hmm.
Well, I'm have disagree on that because from what I've seen, and I've seen on things somebody actually one of my little birdies that I call them, they told me that she's planning on doing another show, and I'm always and I think she kind of in a way she mentioned it in kind of a code. So I'm gonna bring up her IG in a minute, and I will show you, and let's see, let's go here. There we go, and in a way she said what show she's gonna do,
Three
and
weeks
here it
out.
is. Yes. And from the looks of it, if anybody follows Christina Mendoza, she looks better conditioned than she did at Chicago. My guess,
She
because I
does.
think, yeah, because from what I heard, Chicago wasn't her best showing. As you know, she won that show back in 2023. She took a step back for personal reasons. And if you look in the comment section, she says Christina Mendoza goes low carbs, flat, and 3 weeks out, baby, and she puts in tags muscle contest. And if you know anything about muscle contest, that's a promotion that's run by Tamer Gundy, whose brother is Tariq, and he has a few shows, but one show he has it should be here on the his page. I'm trying to find it. But he focuses a lot more on the other divisions. He does more um amateurs and a few pro qualifiers, but not many of them have women's bodybuilding. And it should be, no, you don't see it. I thought we had it on here. But as you know, the muscle contest, which was, here it is. Now, it's called the Titan Grand Prix. And this is it says the 20th, and it's going to have women's bodybuilding. And I believe it posted it's from last year, it was women's bodybuilding, figure and fitness. No, women's bodybuilding, men's classic in fitness, but now it's going to be exclusively women's bodybuilding, and it says the show is going to be on the 21st, women's bodybuilding, and it's a pro qualifier. It's Olympia qualifier, because and who won it last year was Hunter Henson. Now Hunter already qualified at Atlanta, and that was been about a couple of weeks ago. And that's one of the only shows other than Lena Classic where it's exclusively just women's bodybuilding, no other divisions, and that's kind of great. So, what's your opinion on that? Because um, Christina's going to jump in, but then the big question: who else will do the show? Because it's going to be the week after the Rising Phoenix. So anybody have any thoughts who might want to see? Because if they like some ladies might do the Rising Phoenix because it's going to be top three competitors, and we already heard that Andrea's coming back, and I think that's going to change the placings because you're going to think about it. The current Miss Olympia and former Rising Phoenix champions coming in. That means that whoever gets to the next two spots, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you heard from Lori Connolly? Because at one point she was considering doing Titan.
I haven't heard anything from Lori. I know we were talking a good bit, but she's been kind of
Yeah.
quiet. I usually sometimes might ask her to jump on live, but she hadn't done this in a long time. You know, she might try to do Titan because it's right there in her backyard in California. I know that my friend Tina Williams, she told me she might do the Titan show, but she's been invited to the Rise of Phoenix quite a few times in the past. She qualified before, you know, because she was there back in 2023, 2024, where she was in the top four, top five. She was fourth. We have here my man KL the Wonder. He just popped through. We saw him pop in. We see. Give me a second. What's going on? Eh, where is it? Oh, he's popped back in again. There he goes. I thought he was. There he goes. Here we go. We got my man KL the Wanderer.
Hey,
What's
how you
going
doing?
on? How y'all doing?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
good to see you.
Good to see
Yeah,
you.
likewise. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. KL just had an interview yesterday with a lady, a natural competitor, and also I saw he has another interview coming up in a few days with Alec Blankenship. Wow,
Yeah. She reached out to me, so you know.
that's good. That's good. That's good. We have here for a shot from my man Josh. He says, this shot. Josh says it was close between Alcione and Nadia, but Alcione came in a little more conditioned, which got her the win. Yeah, I believe that. You see the pictures. Also, this is from a shout out to DJ. Says, I understand the concept of an already qualified athlete competing at a show where someone else really needs the qualification and the top athlete who is already qualified takes the spot. It's hard. Yeah. Because, but if they had the bump system or still went by points, that means you see more competitors who want to get an opportunity to get to Olympia. That's one thing that kept a lot of ladies going because they had the point system. Next up is, on the other hand, the show needs more bodies to compete because not enough athletes enter these shows. Yeah, because this happened when Chelsea did the New York Pro, and that was kind of disappointing. There was, counting Chelsea, Nadia, and Mina Beckett, Becca, there was only 3 women, and it's just I'm like this. What's going on here? You know, you know, I hear ladies complain about not enough shows, but you're not showing up. So what you expect your promoters to do if you don't have no bodies? If you have people like Nadia and also people like Alcione who already got their qualification coming in just to fill in spots. Anybody got any? Okay. Also, we are here. This is for my man DJ. Says same thing with someone like Natalia Cuejo. She says she's already qualified for the Olympia and she's the top 2 best in the world. In addition to her being a former Miss Olympia champion, doing a show. Yeah, that's it. Also, this is from a man. DJ says the Titan Grand Prix is interesting choice for Christina. Well, I think her concern was that this is probably one of the biggest shows for bodybuilding for women. As you know, they changed the Rising Phoenix. It's no longer the Rising Phoenix Arizona Pro, which is all the other divisions. It's now the Rising Phoenix, which is everybody's represented, all the women's division are represented. It's no longer the Women's Bodybuilding Championship because they changed the prize money. They cut out some other stuff here and there. And also, 2 of the top competitors that competed last year, that's Ashley Jones and the last year champion Angela Yo, are not doing it this year. So, and then since it's not invitational anymore, that means it's a free show. Anybody is qualified to compete.
Well, and since it's not invitational, you also have to pay your own way there. Because before, if you were invited, everything was picked up. Your flight, your hotel, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jake will give little bonuses here and there, like like a per diem for you being there, and also covers like you do photo sessions for the show. They pay for that because now he has to compete with the Arnold Classic. He has to take and move the money a little bit towards there. The big question is, will he shoot up the prize money for women's bodybuilding? Because like this, if Angela do this show, and depending how much the prize money is, it's not worth it because you are the current Miss Olympia champion. You've been multiple time, Rise Phoenix champion. If it's just to be there to compete because she's the top women's bodybuilder, it's kind of what happened with Iris when she competed at the Miss International. Because some say it was the reason why Arnold Schwarzenegger dropped it because she was steadily winning. Unless that one year she lost because she had the zit on her butt. Yeah. We have here just a shout out to my man here. Josh says, Anastasia Ryder comes to mind for the Titan. No, Anastasia has announced she's going to do the show in Germany because she said it in an interview with the Female Bodybuilding Channel. that she's gonna do that show after she did Chicago. And I saw she said that there was, and you would ask her if she was gonna do Tampa. She was at Tampa because I saw her because she was there. I think one of her clients was competing at the show, and then she said she was going to do the Dennis James show. Also, he says this. He says, "I think NCAA Rider may do the Europa Pro show in Germany. Honestly, yeah, he is. But there's so few opportunities for these ladies when it comes to bodybuilding, and it's just the numbers are just so low. And the big question is, are we just going to get an overload of competitors in so many shows? And then you got to think about it, the cost, the travel from, like, you got to think about it. Somebody's probably going to try to do the show in Germany because that's going to be 2 weeks from after the Rise in Phoenix. If they can, like somebody like Mila Ash, who's done shows overseas. Or, I thought at one point, I thought Rashada Boswell was going to do the leader show because she did it last year. But I think she might try to do either either the Rising Phoenix or try to do the um, Grand Prix. Mm-hmm. But like I said, this is from the Rising Phoenix stack. You need to update it because it's a champ there. And here's some ladies that I think you need to update this. That's here. Now here you have there's Dennis James right here. And he is promoting his show, the Grand Prix, because it's in Germany. And one of his clients is Natalia Kovaleva. And it's just going to be the Europa show is going to be.
That's the one that's like muscular. That's too muscular and stuff.
No, it was originally in Spain.
No, Natalia. Which Natalia? I forgot the Natalia. That's what I was trying to say.
There's like
Natalia. I think she was. I did remember her. Yeah, I think she did compete at the 2023 Olympia. I actually remember me and her there. Yeah, she's.
No, I'm just asking. Forget it. Just show the picture. Maybe I might recognize it. That's all.
Well, like I said, it's like I said, the bunch of Italians. There's at least 3 Germans, two Russian Italians, at least, and probably.
Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the bodybuilder, not the physique, the bodybuilder. Yeah, Natalia, the bodybuilder one, not the doctor, the bodybuilder.
Yeah, I would say Natalia Cuejo, but there's Natalia Kovaleva.
That's what I was talking about. Her. Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about. I wasn't like thinking about her.
That's her. Yeah.
I didn't know which one you was talking about with the last name because I know there's another Natalia. She's kind of a bit more muscular.
And I think I think this is the one we're talking about. This Natalia. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I was asking.
Yeah, that's Natalia Kovaleva, and there's, like I said, at least there's another Natalia, and she competed at the Master Show, and that's Natalia Bastrova. And she last year she qualified for the Olympia. And question is, will she do the Dennis James show in women's physique and maybe qualify? Because depending on who's going to be there, I don't know yet, because it's going to be another 2-3 weeks before we know, about another 3 weeks before we know the list. Because she was there. This is her at the Masters Olympia. This lady's 57 years old. She's only a couple years older than Eunice, and it's wow.
You mean younger than me?
Yeah. Oh, younger than you. Okay. Yeah, she's younger than you. Wow. But that's one of the ladies I feel like if she does the right show, she probably get qualification. I know last year she came to the States, did a couple of shows, but my guess because of the her being accepted to the Masters Olympia, she kind of decided to just focus on this show. But I think she wasn't in the top 10 for the show. I think she was like maybe next to the bottom of the 15. But and as one other lady who I had a pleasure on my channel being on as a guest. It's Rashana Boswell, and Rashana, she's been consistently competing, but the big question is, because this is when she was competing at the Lena Popa Classic last year. It was her and Arlene Oprah. And Arlene, she took 6 at the Lena Classic, where she won this show last year. And these two were head to head. And now the great question is, she was trying just to go ahead and just take the next year off and maybe work on her conditioning, maybe bring more size.
I guess Alita could take a break. Wait, are we talking about Rashana or Alita?
Yeah, Rashana.
I Oh, that's a tough one. I guess Rashana could take a break. I guess. I mean, take some time to work on her conditioning. I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, like I say, she wasn't as conditioned she was. You can say she's a little bit soft in the glutes here. That's one thing that's been her issue was her back. Because I know, was it when she last competed at the Chicago back in 2020, it was a head-to-head between her and Teresa Vasic. And the big question is, will she try to do either go all the way to Germany, which would be a cost, expense of travel, or there's a couple of shows in right here in the States that she could probably get qualification. If she can crack the top 3 at the Rising Phoenix, she can probably get a Olympic qualification, or go to the Grand Prix show. But then if you got Christian Mendoza coming in there, there's a good chance she may not win it.
Mm,
What place she was in? That in the last show she did.
She was 5th. She won the show back in 2023.
Oh, okay.
And there's also the return of Virginia Sanchez.
Yeah, I
And
gotta say she real. Sorry, you go first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's really, she was going to do the Masters, but she dropped out. And, she hasn't been qualified for the Olympia since, I think, 2021. She's been taking some step back. I know she moved. She was doing some stuff with family. But from this picture, she looks in her best condition ever.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is actually her best look in such a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the year that she competed at the Olympia that she was in the top 5?
I think that was back in 2021 because, she did qualify for 2020, but then the pandemic hit and she had to drop out because, she was taking care of her son and she was living in Spain. So she had to miss that show. And, and also, so again, you had Nadia, who also competed at the Lena show. Great physique, great look to her. One thing I think I'm always going to say about her is her legs. She has good legs, but it's still not as full compared to if you look at Alcyon's.
When you look at Nadia's front, she has a pose, and I'm not sure if it's her front double bicep, but she looks real aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it's just her structure looks really good. That's where she shines, is in that front, her front poses. And when she turned around, that's where Alcyon just, had the density and had the mass on her. But I think when they turn to the front, honestly, I like Nadia's the way that she poses there. Her aesthetics and her lines look really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very attractive look.
Yeah,
Been a fan of
real
hers for quite some
attractive,
time.
feminine lines.
And you look at Alcyone, as she was number 3 back in 2023, which got her she qualified for Olympia, by getting the top 3 in 2023. And then she kind of fell to the bottom last year. And now she's working with Robert Phil. And he really, I think she got more, a little more pop and a little more condition.
Shoot, looks like she gained 25 pounds. I don't know how much she gained, but golly, those shoulders.
Yeah, it just she's really has come a long way. I mean, she was rigid women's physique, and then she switched. Like so many other competitors we see that need to go ahead and move over, and it does good for you to move over, switch. I know I heard recently a young lady say she's going to be switching over to women's physique, and also at the show, if I can find her picture, she'll be here. There she is. That's Jenica Kurt Loader. She's from Norway. And man, what's it? I thought I tapped the thing. Here it goes. And wait a minute. What's going on? I thought I tapped it. See, here you go. What's going on with this side? There it goes. And Jenica, she won a pro card here at the Eastern European Olympia. And then she made her pro debut the next day. I think she just needs a little more size. Her condition's pretty good, but it's just like, so you can compete with some of these girls who are been competing a lot longer. She's still young. I think she's in her mid 30s, and it takes that time to hit that muscle maturity. Anybody think? What's your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, still, it is revolutionary of her that she's the first Norwegian female bodybuilder, and she managed to get to the top 5. That was pretty. I thought that was not bad of a start for her. I mean, it was a tough competition, but I think she's gained on. I agree with she. She needs more maturity in her muscle, but she's on the right path. So we wish her the best of luck.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I hope she does that. Here we got some comments here. We got here from a man. Shout out to my man here. JD. He says this. He said DJ. Sorry, JB from the Female Body Channel is a big fan of Nadia Capasoto. His crush, actually. JB likes all the ladies. And he says Alcyon may be the top 6 this year's Olympia. Here's the thing: top 6 does not get you back to Olympia.
Sure. I'm not sure about that. That's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough to decide. Considering she's going up against the top 3 competitors, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think depending on how, because Nadia and Christina Mendoza were the top 5 last year, and then remember
I thought Christina came in 6.
No, I think she came in.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 6. Yes, no, I think she did.
Oh yeah. Okay, Hella was
4th.
4th.
Yeah, Hella went 4th. Yeah, I remember
And
that.
Nadia was 5th.
5th, and Christina was 6th.
Yeah, and
but
now you got you got Levy. What was Levy? Was she last year?
She was 7th.
Yeah, she was 7th. Yeah.
So she's made some tremendous gains too. So that's where is she gonna be placing this year?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she's not even, her and Hunter are probably the 2 youngest ones. Not even 30 yet, because I think Lavinia is 29, so is Hunter, and she's really been growing since she switched. Because she's really because all 3 of us saw her when we were at Tampa, and her size
just got so dense.
Yeah, it's just her condition is crazy. She knows she's working with the same coach that's working with Tiana, also Susan Graham, and also she's working with another fellow Brazilian, Amanda Machado. And Amanda, she's gonna be at the Olympia.
Well, did I see that that Doms is also Christina's coach?
Is he? I think he is.
I thought I saw that on today's post.
I know
Chelsea. She's competing as well, so that's going to be also tough for her. She won 2 shows this year, so it's going to be where she's going to be ranked this year.
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw Chelsea. She hadn't competed since 2023. She took last year off,
No,
And
Chelsea competed in New York this year.
well,
And
you know, I'm
and she
talking about
won the
Olympia.
Vancouver Pro as well.
Yeah, but I'm
And
talking about her last time she was at Olympia was 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So last time she was Olympia was 2023. We know she did Triple O, she did Vancouver, did New York, and she's
And
really
Chicago.
no, she was Chicago.
No, she didn't do Chicago.
No,
Oh, okay. That's right.
That was Anastasia Ryder. That was Melissa Tyke.
That's right. And that was Christina.
Yeah, Christina, because Christina
Yeah.
didn't come in
Christina came
best
in second.
condition. Yeah, she
Yeah.
came in second. And my dear friend
Yep.
Tina Williams was fourth. You know, and Melissa Tyke,
Yep.
I know she was planning on doing Texas originally, but then they dropped women's bodybuilding. And the big question is, like, this is from, you know, when she was at Chicago, and her physique is just crazy. Like, I mean, as you remember, she was winning physique for a few years, made the switch. Some say she was very close to qualification. You know, if she just did another show, I think she only did the Chicago and she did the Rising Phoenix, so she was invited. But I think because now, as you know, with this year, with Sherry Priami out and also with Michaela
Mikhail,
Aycock, yeah, retired. Where do you think she would place? Like maybe sixth, seventh?
I see her as like seventh or, you know, I mean, again, they're going to be looking at structure. And if you think about the girls that have the structure that they're looking for, you know, it's your top 5 that we named earlier, plus Chelsea, plus Levy,
Hunter.
Well, no, I don't think. I think Melissa will have the shreds to make up for the structure. I don't know. I just.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, Hunter, like I said, like just like Lavinia, she's still a young competitor. I mean, you know, she, as you remember, she was originally, um, you know, a power lifter, and now she's really has, you know, I think she was really supposed to be a big phenom when she hit back in 2021, and then she took second to Mona Persley that year at Tampa, and then she just kind of disappeared for a good while, and she came back last year, got second at Chicago, and then she won a qualification at the Grand Prix, and she also bounced back and won here when she took second at Tampa. And here she is with her friend Brianna Terry, who's going to be competing in a show in Mexico, which is going to be, I think, right after the Olympia. She told me that when we did an interview, you know. But, you know, she has a good shape, but I think, you know, there's some things I think she needs to really work on. I think, like I said, she's still young.
Yeah, she's young. She's not quite there yet with the package like Christina brings. Um, you know, there's still some growth to happen on some body parts to make her, you know, as complete as the top 5 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to jump also into the physique divisions. You know, it wasn't that long ago. Nana Salva won the Masters O, and you know, one person he kind of believes that she should have won, but we're not going to get into that. And you know, her physique is very impressive. I think it meets the criteria of women's physique compared to some
For
of the ladies you
sure.
see now.
For sure. Is it Nina or is it Nina?
It's Nana. I think that's how she's pronouncing. You know, because Brazilians talk, they pronounce it kind of different if it's if in Brazil.
Oh, I'm starting to realize we got a lot of Brazilian winners this year. I starting to realize, starting to see a pattern here.
Well, yeah, because they bring that Brazilian, they know how to fight and they know how to dedicate, and You know, Brazilians, they have that drive, and they come here with an intent to succeed.
Huh, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, because you count Nada, then you can also Zama Benta. You know, Zama, we both saw her also at Tampa. Her physique is just beyond. I mean, some say that she might need to move over to women's bodybuilding.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think it's usually is it usually up to the competitors themselves, like more than the supporter. I think it's really up to it's their decision. It's the competitor's decision that truly matters, right?
Yeah,
You can't just force someone to switch. It's always up to them, right?
yeah. But sometimes, often the judges will put them into the ear, like like they get
Oh yeah,
feedback from the
that's
judges.
right. I think that's yeah. I think I remember that. I think a couple competitors have. So I think I heard a couple competitors told us some of those stories how they switched over.
Yeah, because I know that's what Jada told me back when she switched. It was that year her and Mila Ash did the Ultima Classic, and they were told they should think about switching. Well, Jada she ended her season in 2020. Then Mila jumped into New York Pro. She won New York Pro, and she was top 5 in 2020. But then she still like she started to slip bit by bit. If you've seen her from the Master Show, she looked like she was just not as conditioned compared to the last couple of years where she was like maybe top 5, top 10. She's been kind of, I don't know, bottom out a little bit.
I guess she if I was her, maybe she could just. I think it's best she might take a year off. Take some time to work on her conditioning and bounce back it for the following year.
Or maybe she's, if way women's physique is going, maybe she should consider going back to women's physique.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm fine with that. If she wants to go back to physique, I'm fine with that too. I really don't mind which competitor switches to. They're still them no matter how they look. It's their choice.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, it's all up to them. Maybe when they talk to the coaches, they figure out something. You know, they'll let everybody know. Here we got here. Shout out to my man. Uh, Shout out to my man DJ. He says this. He says, let me put this up. Do you put who is potentially going to be the top 5 at the year's Miss Olympia? Is question I ask myself every day of the week so far. Well, it's right now we know the top 3 most definitely is going to be. I feel it's going to be Angela, Andrea, and Ashley because Ashley she's not doing any shows to the Olympia because she's not going to do the Rising Phoenix, and neither is Angela. Andrea, sometimes I think she said she's contracted almost to do the Rising Phoenix, but no point in doing it when he's no longer wins bodybuilding championship. This is from my man Josh. Shout out to Josh. He says this Levi Barros has really been putting in the work. Yeah,
She really did, yeah.
yeah, she was very impressive. Also we have here, this is from my man DJ. He says, since Hela Trevino announced she would not do this year's Olympia, anyone can fill that 4 and 5 spot now. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, like I
she's
said,
not doing the Olympia.
no, because she had knee surgery
Oh, right.
early this year.
She's still recovering. Okay, that's fine. Give her all the time she
Yeah.
needs to recover.
Because remember, she had shoulder surgery and she jumped into the Olympia that was in 2022. And I felt like she was gifted 4th place. Last year I think she deserved it, but that year I think they gifted to her. I don't think she deserved that high of a. She should have been maybe 5th or 6th, and all that means that she's qualified for the Olympia because she's been a 2-time Rising Phoenix champ. Like people like her, Margie Martin, even Lena Popa. They are Rising Phoenix. They are Rising Phoenix champions. They can come and compete at the Olympia. But Alina said she's not doing it anymore. She's done. But Margie, she retired because she's done. But that's still that opening for them. Shout out to here to my man DJ says this. He says, excuse me, Rachel Daniels, in my opinion, should be in the top 5 this year at the Olympia. What y'all think about Rachel?
WPD.
Yeah, but in WP, would she do well in WP, or she's more closer looking like? Because I did see her at Tampa too.
I think she looks more like a bodybuilder to me than WPD.
Yeah. Well, she's really has put on some size because she took last year off. She had to compete, I think, for the last couple of years because she went through some stuff. I think she mentioned how she got through a divorce. She was attacked by a dog. She came back and she did the Pittsburgh Pro, and then she qualified at the Ultima. And I think one of her friends is maybe making a switch. I don't know, because she's her friend is Melissa Brodsky, and Melissa competes in figure. And if you know who she is, you've seen her lately. I think that possibly might see Melissa competing. But Rachel, if you look at it, she's not too far off.
Did you see her in Tampa?
Yeah, because her client was Keisha Oliver.
Yeah. She looked pretty thick, man. Wow.
Yeah, and she's been to 2 Olympias in her career.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think her first one she was like 11th. I think she might have cracked the top 10 in her last one. And this is her with Richard Bosky, who's here talking here.
Looks like a stallion.
Now, do they live in Texas?
No,
It's not a gun situation.
No, they live in Florida.
Okay, I thought they had moved to Texas.
Well, Melissa did move to, I think Rachel did move to Texas for a bit, but she moved back to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me. But she's really has. If like here, this is a picture of if you really see her, this one here, we compare her to when she was, I think, early in career to now.
Like the quads.
Yeah. You really see how much size she has gained. And she's also a client of Andrew Vu, who is also the boss, the coach of Natalia Cuejo and Jessica Reyes Padilla. Here she is with her client, Keisha Oliver. And you can see now Keisha is women's bodybuilding. And you put them and you write down side by side, and especially you see their legs.
Yeah.
Her legs are way bigger than Keisha's.
I know. When I saw her coming down that stairwell, I thought, wow, she looks like a bodybuilder. I mean, she could be competing in bodybuilding and doing well.
Yeah. I think she should, maybe she should move over. But you know what? They're going to use that excuse, well, I don't want to move over because I want to be less feminine, yada, 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 yada. Yabbity schmabbity. But it's about this. As your body grow and develop over time, and it's like trying to be, best way to say it, you're a size 10, try to squeeze yourself in a size 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look as good unless you wear a size 10. Women like to get dresses and shoes that are maybe 2 or 3 sizes below what they're actually supposed to wear. Like when we used to watch Married Children, Al Bundy had a fat woman coming into the in the store, and she says, I am an 8, knowing that you're a 12.
Yeah, I think that depends on your age.
Yeah, I think that's with age also. Here, this is from my man DJ. He says this. Says Brazilian women are genetically gifted beauties. That's why. Okay, appreciate that. Also, he says Zama, the Brazilian boulder, Benta has the most insane, crazy physique in women's physique division.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she won again this year. I forgot she
yeah,
won this year.
yeah. She won Tampa again. Rachel Daniels is close to women's bodybuilding, in my opinion. I think I agree with you. Also, he says this. He says Paula Ranta should go to women's bodybuilding, in my opinion. No, Paula, no.
No, I think she's a WPD definitely.
Yeah, I
'cause
agree. It's too.
Yeah.
It's
So is
too
the
much. Too.
doctor. I think Sharonica, Paula Ranta, and Doctor. Who's the one that just won? Doctor
It's Natalia. Oh no, Megan.
Megan. Yeah.
Megan,
I
yeah,
think
Megan.
I think they're perfect for WPD.
Yeah.
So I was watching when she won it at at Atlanta. That I know AJ and them, the female badminton channel, said that she feel like she might do um good and win because she's like it seemed like she was like maybe the same size as Andrea when she was on stage last. And I met her. She's a good sized woman, you know. Would she do well? Because she has a great look to her, very aesthetically pleasing, great physique. I think they want a woman who has a great body, but also a good amount of femininity. Because that's always the thing that there's always that debate about femininity. Who looks pretty? Who looks more of a woman than actually a bodybuilder? You know, that's her husband right there. He's standing there clapping for her. He's a big dude himself too. And I think it's a coach sitting there. And you know, she's a pretty big girl. She's got to be at least this is like her standing beside um Linda. She got to be at least I think she's like maybe 5'8", 5'9", because me and Dave were talking to her, and that's a husband right there, and he's a pretty good sized dude. You know, and she possibly could crack the top 10. It's all depending on how all the other ladies look. Because right here, side by side with her and Zama, it was close because you got to think about it. She beat out both Susan Graham and Paula Ranta. And this was her debut in women's physique because she was originally doing, I think somebody said she did figure and wellness before. But like I said again, it's about the evolution of all these ladies. It's over time, how they're going to place. Now, one lady who I really enjoy having a conversation with, she was on my channel last weekend, or weekend for last, and that is Tracy Gow. And Tracy announced that she's going to be doing the Rise in Phoenix. And, she was number 3 at the Masters O. And, she looks, I think she looked pretty good to crack the top 3 in Masters Olympia.
Watching a little bit of interview with what's his name, Claudio.
Oh, did you get an interview with Claudio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good. Shout out to Claudio. He's put up good work and good content. But Tracy, I mean, she's come a long way. This is like a side by side from the last year when she did the Olympia to this year when she did the Masters Olympia. And we can see how much size she's gained. Now, conditioning coming a little better. And I think if she had better conditioning, she probably could have pushed out Susan Matheson for number 2. And I think one thing was I think Susan Matheson should have skipped the Tampa, and just focus on the Master O. But she still looked great. And I think there's a debate that maybe if you look at it, we have Nana, Susan, and Tracy. Now Tracy was in just a little better tighter condition. She probably could have got number 2. Because if you look at Susan, she's a little thicker in the waist. But one thing I think that was her saving grace was her abs.
Let's see.
Now, one lady who I'm a fan of, and I don't know, she might, from what I've seen on her social media, I don't know, she might, because she might do one of these shows that most definitely I think she might try to do. Wait a minute, second here is Marika Jones. You know, and she says she's taking the time this office, but she posted this. Says you got this. September, let's do this. So this is telling me that we might see Marika competing at the Rising Phoenix. And Marika's back is crazy. Her conditions is right. This is her and a friend. They were riding to Tupelo from Tupelo to Texas. And I mean, she has great conditioning. She's come a long way since she turned pro a couple of years ago. I mean, she did at least this year, counting, Texas, Altima, Omaha, Tupelo, and I think, and also she did Chicago. That's 5 shows in a row. Question is, it's a little dog. It's a little. Question is, will she throw in her hat for the Rising Phoenix? Anybody's opinions?
We honestly don't know.
Well, like I said, it's a wait and see situation. I think I know she was saying in the interview that she was going to take the time off, but she's a competitor. She's a gamer. She wants to go to Olympia again, and there's only 2 shows that probably get her there. But one show is out of the country, and one show is on the other side of the country. So the debate is, which is the one that's more convenient for her. Like Eunice, if you were doing a show and you know that it was possibly a show to get you qualified for the Olympia, let's say, if you had a choice between maybe the Texas Pro or maybe, let's say, the Rising Phoenix, which one would be more convenient for you?
Well, of course, Texas is in my backyard, so I would be there because you could drive and it's only 2 or 3 hours. Versus Arizona, that's 17 hours.
You always fly.
Yeah, that's true. But you have better chances in Arizona because you've got I mean, if someone's going to win it, but you got 2 additional chances versus the Texas Pro. But then again, at the Texas Pro, there's a good amount of money. So are you doing it to win or are you doing it to cash in?
Because with Texas, like $15,000 to get first place, and even get first place, you still get a little change because I think it's top 10 competitors get up to about from second you get 5, and then I think it's 3 to third, and then after from 6 down to 10 is $1,000 a piece. So
for like 5 people, right?
Yeah.
But,
so you got to think about it. Would it be worth the while? You get $1,000, but then you're thinking, I spent more $1,000 to come there.
Of course, you spend more than that for anything.
Yeah. We got here a comment from a man. DJ says Trish Wood is doing the Rising Phoenix. Yeah, she mentioned it in our live stream. She's doing it. Also, he says Tracy Guy is always positive and jolly, brings so much energy and light to any stage she's on. Yes, she's a genuinely great person. I mean,
she's always so happy.
Yeah, she has that great laugh.
That laugh's contagious. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's an amazing lady. I mean, her husband, he's a pretty cool guy too, because he can't come here to do shows because of some issues with his visa and stuff like that. He loves to come, but that's the hard part about it. I know Tracy told me because she has family out west, she can stay with them for a while,
Hmm.
and she says she wants to do shows, a little closer. I mean, if she can, like I said, this if she can, because with Australia there are no pro shows. It's hard to even become a pro because the last time she got her when last she got hers because she was only maybe one of two women in her class, and then she got a pro card because like what happened with Jenica, how she got hers because there was only three women counting her, was four women in women's physique and two in women's bodybuilding, and she got a pro card. They gave it to her, because and then she took it and and she competed in the open show, you know. And the lady that I interviewed a while back that both me and Eunice met in Tampa, Keo, she turned pro, and she jumped up and she got her pro card. She went ahead, she went ahead and qualified. She prayed for a pro card. And what you got to do is like if you win, if you win the pro qualifier, and if it's part of a pro show, you can get your pro. You can pay for your pro card then and compete in the pro. I know one lady did this at the Chicago Pro, and she made her debut at the Masters Universe. I mean the Masters World Championship. She's a nice lady. We're gonna probably try to do another interview again. She could talk about her experience. And she really worked for a long time. She's originally from Mexico. She said there's some right now. She would love to go back to Mexico, but there's some issues with visa for a go back. But there's possibly a show that she can probably do because she lives in Florida, and that's the Atlantic Coast. That's coming in just the month right after the Olympia.
Yeah, she got a nice physique.
Yeah, but one lady who, after a long time of competing, she took a year off. She competed back in 2023. That is Nina Porfor, or better known as Nina Beans.
Man, she's phenomenal.
Yeah, I heard she just reached. She's the new pro, right?
Yeah, she just turned pro at
Yeah,
the
she's got an
North
amazing
Americans.
potential.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah,
that X frame.
yeah, she
When
definitely
she
has the
turns
V shape.
around,
Yeah, I see the V shape. Yeah.
it's almost like you're looking at a mini Andrea.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, I hope it
I
doesn't
see a
get
bit
George
of.
excited. Doesn't he? Hope
Look
George
at
doesn't
that.
get excited for hearing that.
Yeah,
Look.
I can see it. I can see a bit of also Ashley Jones too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I think her
I
height,
can
and
tell
her
she's
body
taking
shape.
influence from Andrea. That
I don't
abdominal
think
five
I don't
one
think
arm pose.
I don't think anybody has such small waist as Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley's
Yeah.
waistline, oh my gosh. It is the smallest I think I've seen up there. She's got a small waist compared to the rest of the girls.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the thing that has been her saving grace, her smaller waist. I mean, and
Yeah,
she
that
does. Because
waist.
I had my arms around it. I mean, I think I was talking with her. She's right now. She's just getting over something because she was sick at the show. And I've said this. She should make a pro debut this year. And I think the show she should do is coming up. It's actually going to be after the Olympia because it can give her Olympic qualification for 2027, and that is the Steve Carr show, and that is going to be in Vegas. And they announced that they're going to add women's bodybuilding to the show. It was going to be just men's classic, but then they announced that they added women's bodybuilding. Right here, you have the cover. You have Ashley, and you have Christina. Also, I heard that Chelsea's going to do it.
Yeah.
Brittany Parrish. One of the interviewer name is Leslie. She says it's going to be her debut. And I think a couple more ladies that's going to do this show. And it's going to be November the 8th, and that's pretty much just a month after Olympia. So once she recovers, I would say at the end of the month, before the end of the month goes out of this month, go ahead and start jumping your prep. Anybody agree on that?
I mean, I think it's a good strategy for her.
Mm-hmm, yeah. We got here from a man, shout out to that man, DJ says, Nina Beans is phenomenal. I agree, Eunice. Beautiful woman, gorgeous skin tone. Yes. So, anyway, there's some other ladies who I'm thinking that if they want to get qualification, they got to jump on a show. Like I said, I mentioned Mela. Also, there's Susan Graham. Susan Matheson. My man David, he says she's right now I think she's vacation with family. So if she wants to do a show, only one she has left is the Rising Phoenix, unless she goes overseas and do the Dennis James show. Or she can try to do, like, I think the Atlantic Coast, but the Tide does that show every year. So that, so she's so it may be better for her just to sit out and maybe jump on the show next year. Anybody else y'all think like it's kind of like missing? Usually you might see pop in and do the Olympia.
Say that again.
Teresa Vasic.
No, I don't. I mean, when you follow these girls and you look at them every day and you see how their condition is, that is if you follow them on a daily basis and know when it is that they're like, it's a throwback, or if it's a today kind of post, you can tell who's how many weeks away, or if they even are thinking about competing this season. So I don't see anybody out there just from their IG posts that are even thinking about competing this season that we haven't already named.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Might as well say we already got the ladies who are confirmed. We just got to wait till.
Because we're only 6 weeks away from the Olympia.
Yeah, 6 weeks, because it's already the first week of September, and the Olympia supposed to start. Well, the main Olympia starts, I think, the
second week.
9th.
Well, October the 9th is the meet and greet that evening, I think, and then on Friday is the prejudging and the finals. Well, wait, October the 9th is the meet and greet, and then on the 10th it's the prejudging, and then the finals that night for women.
And then and then the next day it's the other divisions.
The next day is the other division.
Because what they did the last time, because they do the men's prejudging later that night after the women's finals. After the women's finals.
Yep.
And that makes sense to me. I mean,
it makes sense to me because at least you get to see like who's who you think's going to win and who's the top, the top 10 in the men, without having to pay an extra night, because that next night you're gonna have to pay another $350 just to go see the men. Yeah.
Ooh, I know. David said he's gonna be going. And I think he said he's gonna go another show too. We got here from a man. Shout out to a man. says, Vinny K says, is Marilyn Yee doing a show this year? Well, I know last time I talked to her, she said she's not going to say just yet. There's only a couple of choices she has left. That is, she does it in California. She lives in San Diego. She could do Anaheim again, or she could do Rising Phoenix. Also, one lady who I had to push out on my channel as a guest is Amanda Santos. Now, she turned pro back in 2023 at the North Americans. She actually on a pro card originally in women's physique. She competed in women's bodybuilding the same year with Anastasia. But because as you know, in the women's bodybuilding division, only the top competitor in the weight class wins a pro card. Unlike the other divisions where top two can win a pro card, but because there's not many numbers. But she's an impressive young lady. I think she can do well. She's got a good amount of size. Her conditioning is phenomenal. I mean, she's just this is from a picture she posted. She says 4 weeks out till she steps on the stage for the first time. I will be ready. And she's also from Brazil.
Of course.
Yeah. But like I said, I think she's an impressive young lady. I think, we've been talking, and I think she brings what she brings in conditioning. Maybe she still needs a little bit of the size, because that separates physique from women's bodybuilding is size. That's the thing you got to work on the most. But she's impressive. I think she's a young lady herself too. I think she's in her mid-30s. I think we'll love to see a head-to-head between her and Melissa Tyke. Just the battle of just conditioning, because they both have. I think they both have that level of conditioning.
Right.
So, folks, I appreciate y'all time. I know, I wish we could get a little more in depth into this. I mean, I would love to have some ladies on here, but it's hard to get them to come on here because they know this is about their sport, and we like to get the feedback and the opinion. But if I get opinion from people like us, like Eunice, who is a competitor, who's competed for a long time, who's seen the sport has evolved over the years, has grown. People like Alex, who's a fan of the sport. My man KL, he's more a fan of the meat and the muscle, not so much about the sport, but he's learning. That's why I'm getting to learn. But with the numbers dwindling, all the other divisions, I think they're going to put out there's a show coming up this weekend. Is the Florida Pro. Only division they have that I really pay attention to is figure. And then if you look at the figure division, my thing is, I feel like I want Lola Montez to win the Olympia figure championship, but I feel like, I don't know. Wait a minute, just have somebody pop in, a guest. She came in just about towards the end, and maybe we sit here and take a little bit with her, and she give her feedback. Well, what's going on? See what's going on. Hey, Bev, can you hear us?
Hey,
Hello.
George, I'm gonna have to get off.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks coming through. Yeah, appreciate you, Eunice. Thank you.
You're
Yo,
welcome.
Bev. Yo, yeah, thank you. You don't need to. Thank you. Yo,
All right,
Bev.
y'all. It was good
All right.
seeing everybody.
Nice.
All right, Eunice. See you
Yeah,
later.
all right.
Thank you, George. Thanks for
You're
hosting.
welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for coming through. Yo, Bev. There's Bev. Hey, Bev. We can't hear you. Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay.
All right. It kind of came about at the end.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry about that. My mom kind of had me doing some stuff for her, and then I said, "Well, I just want to get on and just tell everybody hello." And I'm sorry to apologize that I missed.
Don't have to apologize or anything. I know how it is with moms and things that have to be taken care of. But we get your questions. Who would you, like I said, we only have a few shows left over. Who you would like to see? Because I know a friend of yours, she competed at the Masters But is she going to be
Yes.
doing any shows, or is she shutting it down?
I think she's taking a little break. I'm not for sure. I mean, that's one of those things that they kind of keep that kind of hush hush. It's kind of like either we come out or we don't. But I think there might be a break coming in, just a
Yeah,
mini
and
one.
yeah, and that is her friend Anna Hars. As you know, Anna just
Yes,
did the Masters O, um, KB almost a month ago. I mean,
yes.
it's crazy, and I would say she has a great physique.
Oh,
Um,
she is a mutant. I think she is. She has a very I love her physique because it's very feminine. And I think and I mean she puts me in mind the like how Andrea is in bodybuilding, she's very feminine and I love that. You could be muscular and still be feminine with the muscularity.
yeah, she has great
Agree.
look to it. Her aesthetic kind of fits what women's physique supposed to be compared to what you
Yes,
see
yes,
now.
yes. Very detailed and that's I think that's the ongoing debate now is you get the criteria, they tell you what the criteria is, but then sometimes you see the winners, they look totally different than the criteria because it's like the women are getting bigger and bigger also in women's physique.
Yeah, because we talked about earlier. We look at someone like Richard Daniels, how you
Yes.
know she was at the Tampa. We put a picture of her because one of her clients is Keisha Oliver, and her
Uh-huh.
her quads are way bigger than Keisha's. Keisha does women's
Oh
bodybuilding.
yeah. Rachel, I'll give this. Rachel works her ass off, and I think she has a great physique too. But I would love to see her in bodybuilding. That's just me. I don't think she'll ever move to bodybuilding. I mean, I don't know her personally or anything. I would love to see her in bodybuilding. I think she would knock it out the park and do really well in it. But I think women's physique is her what she loves. From what I've
Yeah,
seen in her, just her social media, she loves women's. But who knows? Things change for people. But I definitely think the women that are going there now, Andrea, we know she's phenomenal looking. Hunter Henderson, she put on a little bit more muscle, so I think she'll do pretty good. Ashley, I love Ashley. She has a great physique. I'm glad she did move from women's physique to bodybuilding because I think bodybuilding fits her better.
honestly, like I said, I was up close and personal with her too. I mean, I think it's more aesthetic for her. And because
Yes.
I remember it was a while back when she last time she competed at the Olympia in women's physique, and she posted a picture of her with her back turned, and I thought it was Margie Martin at first,
Yes.
and then she turned around and says Ashley Jones, you
Yes.
know.
I always thought she had like a now there's a dark I would love to see Dashunka Dawson. I hope I'm not chopping her name up. I don't think she's competed this year, but she competed a couple of years ago and she moved over to women's bodybuilding. I'm hoping she gets back out in the arena with competing because she has a phenomenal physique too.
Yeah, I think she's lived I think around I think she, no I think
Dallas.
she lives Dallas, yeah, and
Yeah, she
I
lives in
remember
Dallas.
she was at the Rising Phoenix, but
She was a couple of
I
years ago, yeah.
yeah, but not much from her lately. I mean,
No, I think a
this is
lot of the girls may be taking breaks. I don't know. I mean, the one thing about bodybuilding, there's always going to be shows. Sometimes you have to take a break just to have a life and live life and give your body a rest and reset. Some of the girls that I've seen in social media, they got married or had babies, or you just still have to have a life beyond this. But I would love to see her back on the stage because she has a phenomenal body. She's a tall girl too, so she has a lot of muscle. I've seen her in person at Metroflex in Arlington, and she is massive.
yeah,
What do you do outside
well,
of bodybuilding?
Me and my husband, we work on cars. My husband can build a car from, see how, look at her body. She looks like an alien right there. I love that. My husband, he can build a car from the ground up. So we do like hot rod shows. Um, we do that. We travel some. We work on our house. We, go to concerts. So basically just enjoy life also.
S-
Mainly the car thing is our thing.
But you
um,
do the races and all that stuff, like NASCAR or something?
Well, my husband's about, we go to the races, but my husband's about to start racing. And actually he
Yeah,
purchased a
that's cool.
motorcycle. So we're gonna start doing cross country trips on motorcycle. We're both pretty wild, so we're like you only live once, so YOLO.
Yeah.
um, may I ask you a question? Since this is my introduction to you. How long have you been bodybuilding or been coaching? How long have you been doing that?
I don't coach at all, but I have been, well, let me reverse. I've been bodybuilding since 2015, but I took a 4 year. I haven't been on a stage in 4 years. So minus that time, so relatively I would say pretty short. Cause what happened was I got married, we bought a house. I kind of put the shows out. I've stayed in relative shape, but I kind of was like, okay, I need to enjoy life too, so I could stay balanced. And then my dad got sick, so I had to take care of him. So the shows, even though I planned them, they got put on the back burner. Well, he passed away this February, so now I'm kind of back on the firing pan, kind of fired back up about doing one. So right now, my coach is basically getting me in shape to get on stage. I saw him today, and he was like, "Hey, you're headed there." But he's very meticulous, and I trust him. So we got a plan. I just need to execute it.
I'm
Mhm.
very sorry to hear about your dad and your father. I know how it feels. I lost mine around February as well. I mean, not this year, like a
Oh,
couple
I'm
years.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's a
sorry to
long
hear
story.
that.
He and I were very close. I still have his ashes with me. I'm currently living in Florida. He and I promised that I was going to move down here with him, and I kept my promise to him. So he's still with me. So I'm kept
That's
that promise.
good. That's good.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
it's rough. No matter how old or whatever happens, that's still your parent, and you don't want to lose them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a.
because it's been 2 years since my father passed. We weren't that close, but the my mother, we lived together for a long time. She was like one of my old jobs. I worked, like I told Alex, I worked this one place for 13 years. I was only worked 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, and we were off on Fridays. Sometimes me and my mom, she said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm doing nothing." So I'm about to go out. You want to go with me? I said, "Okay." We go to yard sales. We go shopping. We hanged out.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes when
yeah. But
my brother was around. Sometimes we go out all three of us.
oh, that was nice. Yeah, just the memories and stuff. Sometimes I have those moments like, oh my God, I miss my dad so much, because that's how you know from like when you were little till whenever they pass, that's your parent. So.
Yeah,
But now this is keeping me occupied and, so we will see what happens.
yeah, yeah. We see what
We
happens,
understand.
but as you know, the Rise of Phoenix is going to be the week after next. I'm going to do this. I reached out to a lady who's a friend of mine. We're going to do a live commentary of it. We're not going to, like I said, we're going to be out here watching the show and also commentary, maybe showing some clips from the show. Don't want to do too much because you got to be careful with YouTube and everything like that.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to do a live talk about the Rise of Phoenix, talk about the competitors there. It's going to be, I think, as you know, that's Eastern time, so it's going to probably start about 11 o'clock here in the West. 10 o'clock if you are in the Midwest, and then around about 9 um, Mountain. Then Pacific time is going to be 8 because there was a couple of shows. Like I was talking to some ladies who did the master show. They started at 3 o'clock for the women's prejudging, and
Oh wow.
that's yeah. I mean, and they did that also Tupelo. It started at a lady interview said they started at 5 for the prejudging.
See, that's rough on your body because I've done a show like that where it was supposed to start a certain time. It didn't start till later on. You start holding water. It's a lot of dynamics in the time. It's yeah, and it can make or break you too. I mean, it really can. I wish there was a way that, especially with women's bodybuilding, women's physique, that they would just say, hey, let's just let them do it by themselves so we can get them on out. Because it is harder, like not saying nothing bad against bikini, but it's easier to maintain your body if you're a bikini competitor versus if you're a bodybuilder or women's physique, because you got more everything else going on. So yeah.
Yeah. About saying also, I would say we're saying with figure it a bit because some of those ladies,
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
they, just like I said again, I saw the female body channel mentioned that they have a lady. She's going to be switching over from figure to physique, and I think it might be a good
Mm-hmm.
move for her. I think we talk about how some ladies they will stick in a division, like we talk about Rachel and a couple others. They stay in the division because they feel like it's the division they belong in. But then as your body grows and develops, it's
Yeah.
it's no point. It's as long as you can crack the top three, top five of the show, they're gonna stay. But then sometimes it could be a better move. Look what done for people like Alcione and Sherry Priami and a couple of ladies who
Mm-hmm.
switched. They have won Olympias and placed well. We got here from a man, Josh. He want to ask you a question, Bev. He says, "What's your favorite cheat meal, Beverly?"
Oh, pizza.
High five. I love it. I love it too.
Double stuffed, extra cheese, extra pepperoni, pizza, hands down.
I like good pizza. I'm I mean last time I buy the frozen kind, but I can't remember last time I got a decent pizza from a decent pizza place. I don't go out too much.
Hey, believe it or not, we like DiGiorno. Me and my
Me
husband
too.
we'll eat
Double
a
high five.
DiGiorno.
It's
Yes,
gonna
we'll
ask you
eat
what kind
that
of
over
pizza.
a bulk pizza. We'll just add extra cheese and pepperoni to it and bake it.
We got a man from New York. In New York, do the best pizzas. What you got to say? Okay,
Really?
okay,
Yeah,
what
they
they,
got one called Shabero. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. It's in
What's
Manhattan.
it? Never heard of
Shabero.
that.
Yeah,
Uh
they
huh.
they got they got a lot of pizza places. They
Oh
even got
wow.
Mexican pizza. They got
Really?
different kinds. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was originally from New York. I moved from New York actually. I
Oh
was born in
okay.
Long Island.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, you
well,
was. I wanted to ask you. You was in the School of Visual Arts. That's how I kind of figured that out, right? You
Oh,
graduated from.
yeah, the School of Visual Arts. It was a really good college. It was a long process to graduate. I
Yeah,
originally wanted to become an animator, like something out of Disney or Warner Bros.
Uh
But then the
huh.
yeah.
pandemic happened, and then the strike happened, and I'm just gonna go indie for a while.
I took some courses in that school. That's
I can draw stick men. That's how I can draw.
So what do you do now? Like what do you do now with it?
For me,
Uh
for
huh.
right now, I'm currently working at Amazon, but I've been drawing some athletes for a while actually. I've been to show my support for women's bodybuilding. To be honest,
Oh
just
wow, that's good.
I also did posters. I recently did the Atlanta Pro, and I even did one for Michaela since she was the winner last year. She's a good
Oh
friend of mine.
wow.
We keep in touch every now and then. She's a really sweet lady.
A
Well, I'm
lot
gonna
of the
pull up
ladies
some.
are great.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some of Alex's work because and he
Okay.
follows me.
Okay.
He tagged me because he was watching the Olympia Classic. He tagged me in it, and I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. You keep me updated. And here's this is the one he was telling me about. He made for Lavinia Bottles, and that
Oh,
is
that's nice.
it's
Yeah, it's a
her
funny
with
story. Yeah, it's a funny story about it. You see, last year Levy was posing to let it go at last year's Olympia, and I thought to myself, what could be a cool idea? Draw her and Elsa as a bodybuilder, and I asked her permission, and she said yes. And well, why not? So here it is.
Oh,
that's pretty
that's
cool.
nice. It
And this is the
She
is.
one.
hasn't seen it yet, honestly. So I'm just waiting for the
Yeah,
results.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like this one. That's
yeah,
real nice.
that's the one he made
Yeah,
for
the
the
Atlanta
Atlanta
Pro
Pro.
was very underwhelming because of how many competitors. So I thought I could do something about it. And, I even had Michaela and Linda, and because they're both inspirational. And I
Yeah,
even
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I think they should make the posters
That's
for
great.
next year. But Alex got some good stuff here. He's this is
He
the video.
does.
This is the video he tagged me in. It's a little picture montage of the ladies from both the Masters and the Open class at Atlanta. And as you
Okay.
know, Patty Hansen, and that's one person I was going to mention. During our live, because Patty Hansen, the question is, will she be ready for either? Because she lives out west. Will she be ready for either the Rising Phoenix, or she'll do the Titan Pro? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the two shows that's out west. The last Olympic qualification for women's bodybuilding.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's a
yeah. We will
yeah,
see.
yeah, she's Press
Hopefully she
Physique. I mean,
does.
yeah, this is from when
Yeah,
she
she
was
has a
at
real great physique.
Atlanta. This was from Atlanta. That was that day we shoot Atlanta,
Yeah,
and wow,
she looks really good. She does.
yeah. But anyway, folks, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I know I do appreciate my guests. Shout out to Eunice who was here. Also, shout out to the guys here in the live stream. My man Kenny, my man DJ, Josh Simpkins, Vinny K Vinny. Uh, Also, my guest here in the live, KL the Wanderer. Go check out his channel. He's got some interviews he just did recently. He got some ones coming up. Also, check out my man Alex. He just got himself on YouTube now, so maybe he'll post
Oh,
some
good.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's nice
And,
meeting y'all. It was sorry I came in late. My mom had all this. She was like, "Can you do X, Y, Z?" I said, "Yes."
I
Let
know,
me
I
do.
know. I've been there. I've been there. But thank you, Bev, for coming through. We wish you best of luck. We can't wait till we see you compete. Maybe we see you finally, make your pro debut soon.
Hopefully.
All
Once
right.
I gotta become pro first.
Yeah, I know. But that's the thing is, see it and believe it, and just keep,
There you go.
make it happen.
Yep,
Just keep a focus on it. So you got it in front of you. Just need the right place, the right show, and bring all your guns.
exactly. Y'all take care.
All
All
right.
right. You take care too.
Thank you,
Thank
Bev.
you.
It's nice meeting you.
Bye. You too.
All right. This is from man DJ before we let out. He says, Pizza Hut. Yeah, I hadn't had a Pizza Hut for a long time. I mean, they changed now. They don't do
We
the
got
dining
Domino's
anymore.
in New York.
We got a Domino's. The next town over has Domino's, Little Caesars, and Pizza Hut, and also there's a place called Pizza Kings because they do like subs and you can dine in and like that, and But I haven't been there a long time. I don't do too much eat now as much like I used to. But fellas, I do appreciate y'all your time. I mean, I know some of you this is not your style, but I do appreciate y'all feedback and y'all interest and also your just come here and showing up. I appreciate
All right.
that the most of all.
George, I apologize if I was being too vocal this time. I hope I didn't bother.
No, son, you don't need to apologize. So you got like say with your chest. We feel like it. You feel like it. Say with your chest, son. Don't be afraid about being vocalized. That's your right to. You know. That's what sometimes if you have something you gotta say it. You know.
I'm
Not like
just,
this fool here.
I'm just debating. I'm really considering what I'm going through the situation I'm in right now. I consider I'm going to be moving next week. I think it's a safe bet that I might be watching. A part of me does want to join the live stream, but I don't want to risk. I wish I could contribute in some
Well,
shape or form for the.
here's the thing. Just take steps by steps. And don't think too much of it. But if you can make it, cool. If you're not, that's all right. You dare support, I appreciate it. I sit in KL's live stream and support him. And sometimes he asked me a couple times, he asked me to come in and say, no, you got to do this on your own, son. Because this is how you grow as a content creator. You
Yeah,
got to
and
stand on your own
sometimes
two
I
feet.
don't want you to take over my stuff. So
Because as you know, I'm a particular type of criminal. And sometimes I'm good. And if you're good at it, never do it for free.
you just nutty. You just nutty, but that's a different story.
You just know that? I've been knowing that for years. you telling me a story that I know for a long time, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. We are different type of personalities. So,
I'm an Aquarius. My birthday's in February.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Won't be long for your birthday.
Alex, would you want to date a female bodybuilder out of curiosity?
Oh my God! Now, what am I gonna? I'm gonna be very honest. No, please. I'm just playing it safe, everybody. I am not. I am not one of those. I am trying to make a difference here. I'm trying to prove to be as.
No,
I want to be as
what's
supportive
wrong
as
with it though?
Georgie's.
What is wrong the way you saying it? Like what's wrong with it? I'm just asking because I see you drawing like the female bodybuilders. Not trying to put you in the spot or anything, but I'm just
I'm
saying
playing it
out of
safe. I'm just.
curiosity.
No, just I'm just. I just I just don't want people to get the wrong. I'm trying to be. I just want to be socially accepted like them. I'm on the spectrum. Some people really. I've been having a hard time fitting in sometimes. I sometimes see the wrong things. People get the wrong. I'm just. It's really hard for me to get a second job. I mean,
Yeah,
I had a second job, but I was unfairly treated some time ago, and I'm trying to prove to everyone what happened was not what they thought it was.
yeah. That's the thing is, I tell you, I used to hold two jobs at one time too. You know what? This is the thing is, I learned along said, son, people are not going to like who you are. They may not like you. Here I say like this: fuck them. That's simply
It's a
as it.
tough world out here, Alex. Just hold your head.
Well, I mean,
You
I
just gotta.
don't look. I don't care. Look, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I can look. I know, but look, I grow past judgment for how these ladies look. I like them for what they do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their muscles are impressive, but that's the last thing I would talk about. I see them for their personalities. I can see that. I can really tell.
There's nothing wrong with you being attracted to her. I just asked
I
because
yeah
there's a
yeah
lot of dudes
I think
that are attracted to them. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't.
Some of them they pretend to just be like, in my opinion, they pretend to be like, oh, they want to be friends and stuff, knowing that they're attracted to them.
And
So
that's the hard part, especially being friends with a woman that you're attracted. I just interviewed a young lady. She's a bikini competitor, very attractive lady. Her name is I call her V. Her name is Vishnya. If I got it right, she's a bikini competitor. She's an attractive young lady. She has a best friend that's a guy. I seen the guy. He's a good looking guy. And I couldn't be friends with a woman that good look. It'd be hard, and I'd be hard too. And you look like people, and you look at someone like Ashley Jones, and I talk about Ashley. She's beautiful. She has a beautiful smile. Someone like Sharonica, but Sharonica, she prefers the
took
other
her home.
sex. Hey, Sharonica has a girlfriend. They engaged, and I think her girlfriend kicked my ass. So
She got a
and
girlfriend.
yeah, she has a fiance. They engaged. Her name's Chris.
I'll leave that
Yeah.
alone.
And then, like again, there's so many amazing women. It's good to start off as being friends, and maybe also the woman has to be wanting and willing. Is the best way to say it. The quote, the great LL Cool J. A man doesn't choose a woman chooses a man. She knows what she wants in a man, and she feels like there's something about you that she likes and she's attracted to. And sometimes as men, we have to say, you know what? Let's
But
really see what happens from it.
we choose women too, who we want.
Yeah, we
It
should too.
ain't,
But
it ain't, it
sometimes,
ain't like a one-way street.
yeah, but
You
more likely
making
it's
it
up
seem
to.
like they got value.
But
No value.
here's the thing is, it's up to the woman if she wants
No,
you
it
or
doesn't.
not.
No,
Yes, it is.
no. It's up to us too.
Fine.
It
Yes.
goes
Look, I
both
just I
ways.
just find
It
it
goes both
complicated.
ways.
Sometimes,
Looks don't count.
so,
Looks don't. It
sometimes
doesn't matter. It
depending. It's
doesn't
all
matter.
depending. It's
No,
all
it doesn't.
depending. It's
No,
all
it doesn't.
depending. It's all
Because
depending.
you making it
Every
seem
woman's
like
gonna be
they got
different.
more value than us, and
Not saying they have more value, but
that's
women
not
have a
true.
choice. Not saying they have more value. Women have a
And
choice.
we got a choice too.
Yes, we
We
have
got a
choice.
choice too.
But then
Also,
sometimes men will go after something that we know is not attainable, or we know it doesn't want us. But then there's women out there who want us, but then may not be the one we want. Some guys do maybe just have a standard, but then you sometimes have to make a decision. Do you go by standard or go by somebody who really wants you? Like this, I want somebody. First, I gotta love myself, and I want somebody to share that love with me. You know, but women would go by what draws them the most to a man. And if you have all the what they want, all the checks in their line, they'll go by. But if it's somebody, you know what, they can grow with you and you can grow with each other, that's good. But most often, it can go either way. But that's always going to be debate. It's never going to be. There's never going to be a true answer to anything. You know. Yeah.
but
That's why.
Alex, just all I can say, if you like somebody, just introduce yourself and forget about all that friendship. I mean, you know what? Just introduce yourself, and express how you like the person. And if they like you, they like you. If they don't, just
They
move
don't.
on. That's all I
Move
can say.
on. Like I said, they'll say it's please fish in the sea. And you just find a girl who wants to be with you and she cares about you. Women will let you know. They may not do it all right because women have their ways, but they will let you know if they know that you're the person they want to be with. Sometimes we may not catch it right away, but once we do, hey, that could be your life mate, that could be the mother of your children, that could be the woman you live the next 50 years with.
I'm still learning too, so
I'm a bachelor. I prefer my I had relations but not relationships. That's the big
yeah,
difference.
we know the story, sir. We know the story.
So anyway, fellas, just like I said, just do you, son. That's all you got to do. Do the best you can, and then it all comes to you when you're ready. Just be
Right.
patient. Take a deep breath. Just be a man. Be a man. Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't gotta be a creep neither to like female bodybuilders also.
Yeah.
It
If
just
that
have to be cautious because a lot of them they kind of seem like they have
playful.
some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah,
be
Just
I
easy with it.
understand. Oh, I know that. I am a cautious person. My mom always, that's what I'm sticking to what my mother and brother have told me. Just, not everybody's nice, so I'm doing the best I can. Just being myself.
All right.
Oh my God, it's so complicated. This is why I don't talk about it much. This is why I don't talk about it much in
That's the
public.
thing. It's best to get it
No,
out because if you
no,
don't, it's just gonna weigh on you. Because sometimes it's best to let that stuff out. Like if you feel like it's maybe it's not as complicated as you think it is, but sometimes it's good to talk about it. If you know somebody you feel comfortable to talk about it with, like you don't talk to me or KL here. You can talk with your brother, your mother. They're happy there, or somebody who's a good friend who said, hey,
I just don't want any of them to get the wrong impression. You guys know where I'm coming from, right? I'm
yes,
no.
I
just,
know,
I get it, man.
we do,
It's all right. It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but like I said again, that's them. And if they got a problem, that's on them. There's nothing there's nothing you can do about it if they have a problem. But if you have people who are genuinely, like some ladies I've met, who are genuinely nice ladies, who are genuinely maybe interested in maybe just getting to know somebody. So to get to know them first. Look past like as men, we're gonna see what we see in front of us at first. That's just our nature. But then once we get to know the person, we get to talk to them, we see them more than just this beautiful lady with a beautiful body. We see this lady who has a lot of issues. Maybe some lady who just really wants somebody who just really want to see her as as like any other woman. You know,
that's what I'm attempting to do. Just,
start slow and then you climb your way up. Yeah. Yeah, but you know me, I can't help it. This is my girlfriend. I love her so much. I'm just I mean, she's so beautiful, and this is gonna be my side piece right here. You can't you just can't have one woman. You gotta have two. Yeah,
I ain't got nothing
yeah.
to say.
But anyway, this is just like I said. As men, we know what we want, and sometimes we have to be aware where we want to go with anybody. If we find out somebody who's comfortable with who we are, who are not judgmental, who doesn't have issues or hangups, sometimes, there's this old song. You say, I'd rather be alone than being unhappy. Sometimes that's the best thing. But if you find somebody who's wanting to be with you and love you for you, that's good. Other than that, I wouldn't waste too much time on anything else.
right,
Yeah. And this is me. I'm talking to you like you're one of my nephews.
really.
I got a bunch of them. So, gentlemen, this was a great conversation. We enjoyed the time we had because it's great. It's just us guys talking. The ladies had to go. We appreciate
The
that.
best conversation of the whole discussion. Best
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah. Because I think it's good when men sit and talk amongst each other because we have different perspectives. We have different walk of lives. Things we've seen and done. Like I said, both me and KL, we're in our middle ages. You're still growing as a young man. You're still developing. I've done things. KL done things. You've done things, and we're both fans. As much as you know, of women like this. Kale's more fan of the women of muscles, just like, but we also a fan of the sport. Yes, because he says
I'm not
I
gonna
don't.
lie. Yeah, I'll take it. Fuck it. I just
Yeah.
hate when you rub it in all the fucking
I'm not
time.
rubbing it. I just put it. If I
You
rub
just
it,
be
this
like,
fool,
I'm like,
he's just like big busting
like,
woman.
all
That's
right
not what
already,
that's
man.
just making a point.
We know. We know my situation.
You know your situation. It's not a situation. That's who you are. Situation is like if you were living with two women at the same time and one could kick your ass. That's a situation.
Okay, that's who I am. But you ain't
Yeah.
gotta always
I'm not
rub it in.
always. I'm just pointing out a fact. Take it as it is. It's pointing out a fact.
Okay,
I can.
okay.
This Alex. I'll tell you this. I can either tell you a pretty little lie or the ugly truth. Which one do you want?
All right, that's the ugly truth. I take the
All right,
ugly truth.
accept it.
I'll
Accept it.
take the truth.
I tell you my truth. I tell you, I'm not afraid. I got, like I said, I'm at the point in my life where, like, I got my Doc Holiday. I'll be your Huckleberry Johnny Ringo. You're Daisy if you do, a Daisy if you don't. But I ain't no Daisy.
Okay,
Val
Mr.
Kilmer,
Akron.
love you, Val. He made Doc Holiday. He should have won an Oscar. They shitted him. He should have.
He never got an Oscar.
No, he's been nominated for a couple times, but never got an Oscar.
No.
Yeah, he should have won for Doc Holiday. That was a great character. I mean, I
Yeah,
love Tombstone.
I remember seeing that in the theaters back in
Yeah.
'93.
Well, I couldn't always go to Ford theaters. I saw them when we went to the rental store. Remember, you used to go to the rental stores. They're gone now. You don't, you can't. We used to go.
Yeah, they had Blockbuster at the time. Yeah,
Yeah. We had a little place.
not just Blockbuster, but they had
gallery movies and Hollywood movies. I think it was. And we had a little place in our town we called Rolling, TV, and you still wash machines and air conditioners and refrigerators, but also rented movies and video games. It was right at the corner at the end of the street where I stay at. On the other side of the street where I stay at. And we used to go there. We get video games on the weekends because they be closed on Sunday, so we had like a 2-day weekend to play with them. We used to love doing that. But but things change. Yeah, things have by. But gentlemen, I appreciate y'all coming in. I often will, if y'all have a subject y'all want to talk about, which is something involving sport, you're always a welcome guest. Let me know. If you are a competitor who wants to come on here and talk about your path as a bodybuilder, like I said, I got an interview come up tomorrow with a lovely lady. She is a wellness competitor, amateur. Yeah. I mean, and also I got couple more interviews coming up. Got to set them up, and also I'm going to do I said again the week after next. That Saturday, I'm going to do, me and a couple of people will do live stream discussion of the Rising Phoenix. We're going to watch the show. We'll probably show some clips in there, from the show, but not too much because you got to be careful with YouTube and all that shit and all that, that. But we do like a lot of commentary and also maybe post a couple of videos in between doing the commentary. But I appreciate you guys for coming through.
All right, man. All right. Thanks again.
Right. You're welcome.
All right,
Thank you, George.
All right. Now, didn't thank me, brothers, but I appreciate y'all coming through anyway. You never have to, like I say. Anyway, folks, I appreciate my guests here, my dear friend Eunice Martinez, the lovely Miss Beverly Coleman, my man Alex here, also my man KL the Wanderer. Check them out, follow them on social media and support. Also, thank you my guest DJ, Vinny K. Vinny, and also Josh Simpkins. And shout out to the competitors. We can't wait to see. We like I said, it's going to be next Monday. We found out the list for the Rising Phoenix. There's a show coming up this weekend, which is the Florida Pro. They don't have the divisions that we do pay attention to. They do a figure, but if anybody recognizes it, I might do a video on it. I might not. It's all depending on how I feel. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you for supporting my channel and my content. Anyway, you me on our way George page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good afternoon, good night, good luck, and God bless.
Goodbye.